Hi everyone, I'm K.A. Will.
And I'm Gabby.
And welcome to another episode of Marriage Journey by K&G Culture. We want to say hey to all our culture family out there. We really appreciate you guys hanging with us, checking out our videos, sharing them, all that good stuff. Please leave comments, give us your input, let us know what you like, if you have any questions, if you want to see any future topics or future videos on a certain issue. We just want to say thank you. And as usual, K&G Culture is about creating your own culture in your household. Because we realize that though we may have some similarities, no two marriages are exactly alike. And just because you come from a household of a certain culture doesn't mean you have to bring that 100% fully in your own household to make it your culture. You cultivate your own culture. The decisions you make,
right,
how you raise your kids, how you manage your finances, your integrity, your morals, all of that is based on you. So you create that culture in your household.
Yep.
All right. So on this episode, we're going to be talking about the evolution of your spouse. Basically, how your spouse may change, how they grow or get different.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you want to say something on that really quickly.
Oh, I just want to address the elephant in the room. Yes, I usually am taller, but today just a couple feet, just so that, just for aesthetic purposes.
We're on the same level now. There it is. So yeah, we're going to be talking about the evolution of your spouse and how people change, that kind of thing. So you have something to start with?
Of course.
Yeah.
So, how has Kareem changed as an individual
Oh, so you ain't talking
and as
about
a
yourself.
husband? No, sir.
You're talking about me.
Yes. So, my lovely husband is the best in the world. I love him very much. So, he is a person who kind of set on his ways. Definitely for sure when we got married, that's just who he is. He doesn't really change for anybody. But what I have noticed as an individual, he has become more open-minded to different ways of doing things, of living life, of different tasks, and more understanding, I think, of other people that are different than him. So I can say that I've seen that as an individual, and also that definitely comes out as in marriage as a husband too, like being open to my changes, because your boy definitely would have been looking at me crazy if he kept the same mindset before. And I think it's because he's like, well, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Mm-hmm.
If it's worked before, why do we have to change it? So he's more open to, there could be different ways to do the same thing, or there's different ways to be right. It's not just one way. So yes, that's how you've changed. How have I changed? I've become more beautiful every day.
Before we get there, can I respond to what you said?
Not at all.
So, I do see where, like you said, I've become more open to change.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that, and I am a creature of habit.
Yes.
It's not that I don't want to do things differently, but like you said, if it's working,
Mm-hmm.
there's no need for me to do anything else.
Right.
But being married to you has definitely opened my eyes to, there's more than one way to get something done.
Right.
What else did you say? There was something else you said.
Open-minded to different ways of living life.
I can't remember. There was something else I wanted to say. It has definitely been. But one of the things I've learned,
Okay.
let me say this,
Okay.
is that I've seen where we are kind of more alike than I thought.
Really? Because I feel like before you used to say that a lot. Oh, we're alike, and I'm over here like, no, we're not.
Yeah.
But you
Because
realize we're more alike.
Yeah, like in certain ways, you like things done the way you like them done sometimes as well.
Mm.
So that's definitely one way how we're like, we like to do things our way. But all right, going on to the question, how have I seen you change or evolve? Gabby is definitely, I see her pursuing being a better wife. And what I mean by that is, there could be things that we spoke about, and I was like, I either like or don't like when you do this or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So another thing I realized is that there was a time, I want to say, between high school and going to college, where I thought that everybody thought like me, or at least went through the same processes of, if you're going to do something, you think about it, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I found out quickly that people do not. And it made me, I've always been a bit of an observer.
Right.
And it made me want to observe people even more. Realizing that, hey, not everybody thinks like me, not everybody has the same background, of course, as me.
Right.
Have different experiences from what I have. So definitely that's one of the things, I guess, where you saw me being more open to other people, because I realized, people are just different.
Right.
We're the same, but we're different.
Right.
Everybody looks at things differently. As far as you, the way you've evolved and stuff like that, I've also seen where you definitely try to take your time now, as far as being more patient, or at least looking to see why I do things the way that I do.
Mm-hmm.
And I really appreciate that, because I realize that I've seen the change, or at least the shift,
right,
where your focus is.
Right.
So I think that's awesome. Was there anything else that you had as far as?
So I understand that as a wife. Is there anything else that you observed, as far as a change in me as an individual outside of marriage?
You have also, for example, the field that you're in now with being a doctor and having your patients. I realize that you too realize you have to adjust, like home life, work life, how you talk to each patient, because you realize that each patient has they have different backgrounds.
Right.
They have different experiences.
Right.
They're going through different struggles, and it affects them. It affects them differently. Like, you can have two patients with the same illness, but you can see, like, from talking to them, from family support, from all these different things,
or the lack thereof.
right? How it affects them.
Yeah.
So I see you maturing in that way, being observant, to people as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, you're making it sound more like.
I tell you, to me, yeah, I've seen where we've grown.
Yeah.
More alike, and it's funny because I've heard before that people say, when people have been married for a long time or together for a long time, that you actually see them becoming each other.
Right, morphing into.
Yeah, it's like, man, you guys are so alike, it's scary type deal.
Mm-hmm.
And I see that as a possibility. And I know for that to even happen, it does take taking the time to know each other intimately.
Right.
Like feelings, thought process, what they like, don't like, and being vulnerable enough to allow it to be part of who you are.
Right.
So I definitely see that.
How do you think
possible.
You've changed? Like, besides what I said, do you see any, have you noticed anything else different about you from, let's say, 10 years ago?
Life will definitely humble you. In that even when you know certain things, even when you've made plans for certain things, and it doesn't always work out that way, that's a humbling experience, and allows you to have a different respect about life.
Right.
When you realize that, we can plan, we can have expectations, we can be knowledgeable and wise and even go to school for certain things, but life can change all that.
Right.
So that has definitely been a lesson for me. It helped me to grow. Being more, well, you said this, but being more flexible. I've even seen that in that, not to allow certain things to upset me the way they used to,
Mm-hmm.
because I realized, hey, is this really a first world problem or a third world problem? Not sweating the small stuff.
Yep.
Especially, and then the other thing is things that I have control over and things that I don't.
Right.
So yeah, what about you? How have you seen yourself change or evolve or grow?
I'm a risk averse person, but I can see myself venturing outside of my comfort zone little by little, especially with doing like social media, business ventures. Didn't see myself doing this. Saw myself. I really didn't see myself, but I didn't know for sure. I was like, I'm just gonna get a 9 to 5 and keep it moving. Not necessarily do anything outside of that. I've been more vocal about how I feel and whether I want to do something or not, and say no. I've said no more, and being okay with it, not feeling bad about other people, but saying like, I just can't do it, and it's okay, and keeping it moving. So I think that when I became more vocal, I think that definitely was a shock to you, as well as you didn't really know how to deal with it, like the change. But I think you just noticed I'm just growing into myself, especially since you've gone through your 20s and 30s without me. I'm going through my 20s and 30s with you, So you've gone through your molding, and I'm still going through my molding in those prime years. So I think for sure for you it was a shock. You're like, but why? But why are you doing all this? Because I'm going through that.
Yeah. Correction. I did not go through my 30s without her.
Haha. Oh yeah.
My 30s are
20s.
All with her.
Yes, you're right.
So anyway, you being outspoken more, I think is a good thing. And I think I don't know if you've noticed, like, giving you that space to say, hey, let's do this, let's do that. And I'm just like, okay. That's my way of being open to who you are, your changes, and supporting you. So yeah, that's definitely some evolution of us. I definitely think that the kids have caused us to grow as well.
Exponentially in a short amount of time.
Yeah, it's like you don't have a choice
Right.
when you have kids. You have to grow. I've always tried to be patient, but I think the kids have to exercise my patience, if that makes sense. So it's definitely being exercised.
Yep, that's the only way the muscle will get stronger.
So yeah, it's like you're talking to them, and they have their own little personalities. So it's not just 2 personalities in the house anymore. It's 4.
Right.
Because we have a 4-year-old girl and a 2-year-old boy, and they just have their own little people. So I definitely see that as something that's causing me to grow. You have to be patient. You have to be willing to let them mess up. You have to be willing to let them do things not necessarily the way you would do them. Just let them be free. Let them be free, and kind of just guide them and encourage them and nurture them along the way. Which I think is something husband and wife do sometimes.
Yep. You have to forbear and give. What is it? Give them enough rope to hang themselves. And when I first heard that, I was like, why would I do that? It's like that doesn't make sense.
Right.
But like we talked about, everyone develops their own culture. Everyone develops their own value system, and everyone develops their own choices in the way that they want to deal with situations. You can always guide, but same thing for the kids. You can guide them, but you gotta let them make the choice and see what happens.
Yeah. I mean, a couple of episodes ago, we talked about, Gabby's journey through med school and residency. And I think I've definitely seen you evolve in that. Confidence is one thing. Yeah, I'm very proud of you about that.
Thanks.
Because I know for you at one time it was kind of a struggle to say, okay, am I making decisions about this? Am I going to be in charge about this? Being in med school and residency, because, there you have people backing you up and you have people to guide you.
Right.
You have your attending, the other professors there to help guide your decisions, and you make decisions as a team.
Right.
As opposed to now, where it's like you said, it's all on you. You make the decision. So I've seen that evolution for sure. The way you've grown there, and that is it's inspiring to see. I'm proud.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm proud to see it in you. Yeah, so you've definitely grown in that. But the confidence, I don't want to leave that out. I bring that up because it's like I can hear it in your voice, the difference in how you talk, how you respond, and not that you've become overconfident. I'm not saying that at all.
Yeah.
Because you still are striving to do better, and make sure that you are making the right decision, research and getting other doctors' opinions and stuff like that. So,
words of affirmation. Thank you so much for saying that and being very detailed about the change that you've seen. And it does feel good to hear that what I've been trying to do is effective and it is bearing fruit and it is being productive. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, and I see that, talking about the evolution of us, I definitely see that in you striving to be a better wife, putting forth extra effort, even when she's tired. She may not be in the mood.
Just don't talk to me.
and because of that, it pushes me. Like, I may not be in the mood. I may be too tired, but because I know she's doing it, I'm like, I can't leave my baby hanging. Let me push as well. And the same thing goes for motherhood. She is really striving to be the best mother. Like, hearing her talk to herself is funny. Like, around the house when she's talking to herself about the kids, or talking to herself about what she said to the kids, or talking to herself while the kids are standing there, is like, yes, you are becoming a mom for real. Like, you are a mother. West Indian.
And what am I saying? What am I saying?
You say stuff like, why are you making me sound like my mom? You say stuff like, that's why this happened, because I tried to tell you before. And she's saying all this under her breath. And it's like, I'm in the corner trying not to laugh because I don't want the kids to think that, I'm making fun of her, but it's just funny to me. And I don't want to diminish her authority over them. So,
good one.
Yeah.
I'm not crazy, I promise.
No, we all got a little crazy in us. Just a little bit. I'll admit to it.
Yes.
I have no shame in my game. The way people be acting in the world today, I know I got a little bit.
But that comedian said
by beholding,
all
become
women are crazy.
changed.
You're not crazy at all.
Oh man. So
I believe that we are definitely changing for good, and I really am glad about that, because I really thought everyone changes for good, but not necessarily. Sometimes life throws too much stuff that kind of regressing or even going down a different path than you wanted. But I am grateful that both of us are striving for better, are doing better. We're trying. We are trying.
Yeah, yeah.
Trying to,
And I want to leave you guys with that encouraging thought that as long as you and your spouse are trying, don't beat yourself up. Look back on how you have made even the smallest improvements.
yeah.
Look back on how you guys have evolved and grown together and separately, and give each other credit for how far you've come.
Yeah.
I mean, again, no two marriages are alike. You know, there's different years, years of experience, different experiences that you go through, different decisions. We're not pressed with the same decisions that you have to make, and you're not pressed with the same exact decisions that we have to make.
Right.
Excuse me. So take this episode and do that. Like, reflect on, hey, how have we grown? How have we evolved? And give each other credit, and don't be hard on yourself. It is not easy being married. It is not easy raising children. It's not easy, you know, running a household. None of that stuff is easy. It's real life. As I said, I came to the realization that life is not always the way we think it out to be, or the way we want it to be, or expect it to be. So I hope this is encouraging to you guys. I hope you can take something from this episode. We thank you guys once again for another episode of Marriage Journey by KMG Culture.
Come on.
Again, share this video with those you think who would enjoy it or who need to hear it. Leave your comments, suggestions. Anything else you want to leave the people with?
We appreciate you guys.
Yeah, we really do.
Really do. And thank you for the comments. We'll have a special coming out answering those comments. But we try as much as we can to comment or to respond to them. So
Yeah.
look out for those videos.
Thank you guys. Later.